That new car smell, it is intoxicating. It feels like success. It feels like freedom. But from a chemical standpoint, that scent is just the off-gassing of volatile organic compounds, polyurethane, adhesives, plastics breaking down in the sun. From a financial standpoint, it is the smell of evaporating wealth. You sit in the driver's seat, gripping the leather, and a salesperson hands you a piece of paper. On it are two columns. On the left, the cost to finance and buy the car. On the right, the cost to lease it. You are told this is a choice between ownership and renting. You are told buying is the responsible path, while leasing is a luxury trap. Both of these narratives are carefully constructed illusions. You are not sitting in a car dealership. You are sitting inside a specialized branch of a bank, and the metal box surrounding you is not an asset. It is a highly engineered, rapidly depreciating financial product. Welcome to the real math of driving. This conversation matters now more than it has in half a century. We are living through an anomaly. Vehicle prices have detached from median income. Interest rates have ended the era of cheap, free-flowing money. Yet millions of people are still driving new cars off the lot every day. How? Through a psychological trick called the monthly payment. The system is designed to ask you only one question. What can you afford per month? The moment you answer that question, you have lost the negotiation. You have given them the boundaries of the box they will trap you in. When you focus on the monthly payment, the total cost of the machine becomes invisible. The duration of the loan stretches from 4 years to 5, then 6, then 7. People are taking out 84-month loans on machines that begin dying the second the ignition is pressed. We need to break down exactly what happens when you sign that paper. We need to look at the mechanics of the machine, not the metal, but the math. Let us start with buying, the great American ideal, ownership. When you finance a car, you are taking a pile of expensive money and tying it to a falling rock. The rock is depreciation. A new car loses roughly 20% of its value in the first year, sometimes 10% in the first 10 minutes of driving it home. The expensive money is the interest. Because car loans are amortized, your early payments are heavily weighted toward paying off the bank's interest, not the principal of the car. So your car's value is plummeting, but your loan balance is barely moving. This creates a gap. That gap is called negative equity. You are upside down. If you need to sell the car in year 2, you have to write the bank a check just to hand them the keys. You do not own the car. The car owns you. Now, let us look at leasing. Leasing is often mocked as renting your life, but let us look closely at what you are actually renting. When you lease, you are not paying for the whole car. You are paying for the exact amount of value the car loses while you drive it. The bank estimates what the car will be worth in 3 years. This is called the residual value. If the car is worth $50,000 today, and the bank guesses it will be worth $30,000 in 3 years, the depreciation is $20,000.
When you lease, you are simply financing that $20,000 drop. You pay for the depreciation, plus a fee for the privilege of holding the bank's property. You do not own anything at the end, but you also do not own the risk. But the leasing system is not your friend. It is a labyrinth of hidden mechanics designed to obscure the true cost of capital. When you buy, they show you an annual percentage rate, an APR. It is the law. When you lease, they show you something called a money factor. It looks like a tiny, harmless decimal, something like 0.0025. It feels negligible. It is not. Multiply the money factor by 2,400, and it reveals the true interest rate.
That tiny decimal is actually a 6% interest rate in disguise. They hide the cost of money in a math equation most consumers do not know how to solve. Then comes the treadmill. Leasing is designed for perfect behavioral compliance. You must drive a specific number of miles. You must keep the car in pristine condition. If you deviate, you are penalized at an exorbitant rate. 25 cents for every mile over the limit. Hundreds of dollars for a scratch on a bumper.
And at the end of the 3 years, you have no equity to roll into your next car. You are standing on the lot, empty-handed, forced to start the cycle all over again. You have outsourced the risk of depreciation to the bank, but you have guaranteed yourself a permanent car payment. You are trapped on the treadmill. The prevailing wisdom is absolute. Your parents, financial advisors, and internet gurus will tell you, buy a reliable used car. Drive it into the ground. That is the path to wealth. Historically, they were right. But the reality of the modern auto market has fractured that logic. Today's cars are not mechanical devices. They are rolling supercomputers. They have a dozen cameras, radar arrays, and proprietary software networks. When a 1998 sedan broke down, a mechanic with a wrench could fix it for $200. When a modern vehicle's infotainment screen dies, or its driver assistance module fails, it requires a $3,000 proprietary replacement that can only be done by the dealer.
Owning a vehicle out of warranty used to be a badge of honor. Today, it is a significant financial liability. Buying is a bet that the machine will outlast the loan without bankrupting you in repairs. Leasing is an insurance policy against the machine's obsolescence. Neither choice creates wealth. The only question is which type of financial bleed you are more comfortable with. Do you want the slow, unpredictable bleed of ownership, maintenance, and catastrophic failure? Or the predictable, structured, permanent bleed of a lease? If we zoom out, the individual choice between leasing and buying reveals a much darker macroeconomic picture. We have built an entire society dependent on an asset that is guaranteed to destroy wealth. Total auto loan debt in the United States has eclipsed $1.5 trillion. It is a bubble built on negative equity. Dealerships are aggressively pushing long-term loans and complicated lease structures because they have to. The actual profit margins on the metal itself are razor thin. The real money is made in the financing office. By pushing the boundaries of affordability, the auto industry has quietly transformed itself into a subscription service. Whether you lease explicitly, or you take out a 7-year loan and trade the car in after 4 years, which is exactly what the average consumer does, you are operating on a subscription model. You are paying a monthly fee for the right to mobility. The manufacturers know this. They are already testing microtransactions inside the cars you think you own, charging a monthly fee to unlock the heated seats installed in your vehicle, charging a subscription for the navigation system to function. The concept of true vehicle ownership is systematically being dismantled. So, which is the better choice, leasing or buying? The truth is, it is a rigged game. There is no winning move. You are choosing your preferred method of wealth destruction. If you drive a lot, keep cars for a decade, and can tolerate the rising cost of complex repairs, buying makes mathematical sense. If you prioritize predictability, always want a vehicle under warranty, and view a car payment as a fixed utility bill, like your electricity or your internet, leasing is the rational choice.
But do not let the smell of new leather or the shiny floor of a dealership confuse you about what is happening. You are not making an investment. You are funding a lifestyle. The system wants you to focus on the monthly payment. It wants you to feel pride in a metal box that is quietly siphoning away your future. The real power is not in deciding how to finance the machine. It is in asking yourself a much more uncomfortable question. How much of your life are you willing to trade just to get from point A to point B?